Hey, so welcome to episode 2 of Critical Alignment Model. So in the first video we talked about the Critical Alignment Model, which is a model developed by the Coaching Institute to help people to work towards their goals in any sector of their life. So we're talking anything from health, finances, career, to hobbies, contribution, relationships. You name it, you can apply this model. So the critical alignment model consists of 4 parts, which is environment, structure, implementation, and people. I'm going to go through environment with you today, which is like the foundations. If you are creating a building, you want to start with your foundations, make sure that they are solid, and that they're going to take the weight of your building and meet the specifications of that build as well. Like, there's no good building a foundation and you find out your bathroom's in the wrong place, right? Or that you've got subsidence or anything else. So this helps us to make sure that we are on track with the rest. This part takes the longest. It's the most crucial part. It can be uncomfortable to go through some of these things, and it can bring stuff up. Like it deals with our beliefs and our values as well. And this is where having a coach is really useful, because if you've got something, like you discover that you've got a really hardcore belief around something that really doesn't help you to grow your business, or you have a value which isn't going to help you to create what you want, a coach can help you see where that belief has come from, and they can help you navigate a way to actually being able to implement a better belief, one that serves you versus doesn't, one that expands you, and help you to actually implement that into your life, to live it. Because at the moment you're living your limiting beliefs and not the ones that are going to help you to flourish and grow and have the life that you want. So that's where coaches are really good. So let's start. Let's dive into this. Get yourself a pen and paper if you haven't already. And once you've done that, come back and think about a goal that you want to achieve. It can be anything. And I'm going to make up an example on the spur of the moment here. So forgive me if I stumble and blunder a little bit. But I want to give you something to help you with creating this for yourself. So starting with purpose. What is your highest purpose for wanting your goal? Now, for example, I saw a video recently that really touched my heart, and it was of someone who wanted to play with their kids, but they were getting so tired because they were overweight. They're actually getting breathless. And so their goal was to lose weight so that they could spend time with their kids, having fun with them without getting breathless and feeling like they couldn't. So the highest purpose was to play with their kids. The goals and outcomes. So this is about, what do you want to achieve? What are your planned goals to help you meet your higher purpose? So for this person, it was really about losing weight. So their goal, so if you use SMART, specific, measurable, actionable, risky, and time keyed, might be slightly different to what you're used to hearing, because I use Michael Hyatt's, and he also uses exciting and relevant to make sure it's keyed into what is relevant for you with your life right now. So going through that, specific would be to lose, say, 10 pounds or 10 kilos or something like that. So a specific weight. Actionable would be, measurable. So specific is the weight, measurable is the amount of weight. Actionable would be, okay, what are you going to do to get there? So go walking. So if you could walk 30 minutes a day. Risky would be to push yourself out of the comfort zone. So if he's not walking 30 minutes a day, that would be a push. Time cues, you want to have a deadline on there. So she might decide to lose this weight, or he, within, say, 2 months. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I'm giving insane times, because yeah, I've never actually had to lose weight, I'll be honest. So putting a time on there, whatever that is. And then exciting would be, well, I get to play with my kids. And relevant, is it relevant? Yes, it's relevant to where she is right now. She's working part-time. She's got time to give 30 minutes a day to walking. Values is the next thing. So after I've run through an example, feel free to pause the video and write something down. If you've got questions, post them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. If you're struggling with any aspect of this, let me know. And when you write down what you're learning, you're also going to absorb that information in even more. So take notes, do write comments. Like I said, any questions, let me know, because I'd love to be able to answer those for you. The next part is values. What do you value and want to experience? Are you wanting to experience more love, more certainty, a feeling of significance? What about wisdom, health, freedom? And are you living already in congruency with those values? Are you expecting other people to do something like read your mind? And what needs to happen for this value to be met? And are these values traded or sacrificed when something is inconvenient for you? So we could do a whole video on values. So we're really going to skim the surface on this. What do you value and what want to experience? So say, going back to our example, this person wants to experience being able to play with their kids. So they're valuing things like connection, being a good parent, satisfaction that they can do something worthwhile with their children, that they are experiencing better health, that they're feeling full of energy, that they're able to play and have more fun. Now, this person may not already be living in congruency with those values. They might be being really hard on themselves. They might not be wanting to move much. They might be sitting at a desk all day. They might be getting home feeling tired and not really wanting to do too much. So they'll have to look at, well, what do I have to change in order that I can meet these values, so that I can be more playful, so that I can go out and do my walk that I want to do, so that I can lose weight and have more energy to spend with my kids. And when they start implementing this, if they're not upholding any of these values, I really have to look at, okay, what are they doing when it comes to it, when they're making a choice between honoring this value that they need to succeed versus not? What are they placing more importance on? What are they prioritizing? So for you, look at, when you say you don't have time, for instance, this is a big one. When you say, oh, I don't have time for this, what you are really saying is, this isn't a priority for me right now. So if you've got a health goal and you say, I don't have time to go out for a 30-minute walk, what you're really saying is, this isn't a priority. My health isn't a priority right now. And this is such a good way of acknowledging where, okay, that's not true. What am I prioritizing instead? Is that really more important than my health? Because when you look at something like a health goal, health is integral for everything. If you've got a business goal, if you don't have good health, how are you going to show up every day? If you're relying on you to bring the money in, but you're sick and you're tired, That's a big deal. You're not going to be there. You're not going to be showing up. How can you, if you've got staff, how they're going to be depending on you to be clear, to be focused, to be able to give you their time and energy so they can be directed on where they've got to go. If you're not 100% there because your health isn't right, as good as it could be, that's going to affect things. So in this case, their health not being right means that they can't play with their kids. So if they prioritize something over that, they're really saying there's something more important than my kids and my health. Hope that makes sense. So once you've got some values down, and another key thing with values is if you're not sure what your values are, think of times where something's happened and you felt really angry, upset about something. Chances are where you felt angry is where a value that you have hasn't been honored, hasn't been respected, or you've sacrificed something. You've sacrificed a value instead of something else. So look at those two. So you might have to dig a bit on these. And if you have any questions, like I said, do leave some comments. I'd love to help you out with it and go further. Once you've got your values down, the next part is beliefs. Now, beliefs are thoughts that shape our world. Beliefs, according to Tony Robinson, are like a tabletop, so that an idea, so you think of a tabletop, that's your idea. The belief is what gives it legs and helps it to stand. So a belief is simply an idea with legs. That makes sense. So by that I mean you've got your idea, you've looked for evidence to support that idea, and when you've got enough support for that idea being true for you, that becomes a belief. And this is why one person's belief about something can be different from someone else's, because they've seen different evidence to support an idea that they've looked at. So look at, what are you believing to be true about the world? What are you believing about yourself? And what do you believe is true about what's possible? So what are you believing about the world? What are you believing about you? And what do you believe is possible? So what you believe about the world could be, if you're starting a business, it isn't a good time to start a business because the economy is crap. In terms of your health, you might decide, oh, it's not a good time to be going out for walks because of COVID-19. Well, that's kind of coming to an end in most places now, but you can see how, oh, it's not good. It's not easy to go out right now. I'll stay indoors. So you've got this belief system about the world situation as it is right now, how that affects you. What you believe to be true for yourself could be, do you believe that you can make the time to take 30 minutes out of your day to go for a walk? Do you believe that you could do it? Do you believe that you can commit to yourself to do it? Or do you think you'll give up? Do you believe that you're worthy? Do you believe that you're enough? Another one is, what do you believe other people think about you as well? Because this can be a big deal. If you believe that people think that you're not going to do it, would you still do it anyway? And how do you react to that? Are you the sort of person that goes, okay, I've got these naysayers, well, I'm going to prove them wrong? Or do you go, well, they're probably right, I won't bother? And then the other one is, what do you believe is possible? Are you capable of believing something that you think is unbelievable, impossible? If you've wanted to lose weight for a long time and you haven't managed it, do you believe that actually you could do it? If you committed to yourself, perhaps, if you trusted yourself, if you kept taking action, do you believe you could do it? What do you believe to know that it's possible, to choose that it's possible? What do you need to change? I hope this is making sense. So what do you believe is possible right now? Does that serve you? And if it doesn't, what do you need to believe instead? And you can turn that around. Now, these with really deep beliefs, like if you believe that you're not worthy, if you believe you're not enough, that no matter what you try, it doesn't work, if you just reframe that and go, okay, I'm worthy, I am enough, chances are this won't work for you. And I say that from the bottom of my heart because I've experienced myself a lot of self-doubt, a lot of lack of belief in myself, and I've deep beliefs about not being worthy and not being enough. And this is really common and it's totally normal. But for me, I found it really hard to break through that without help. I'm not saying that's true for everyone. You might be able to get through that on your own. If, however, simply reframing this, flipping it on its head isn't enough for you, and that's true for a lot of people, do reach out. It doesn't have to be to me, but find a coach that resonates with you to help you overcome that belief. Okay, next part, attitude. What is your attitude towards life? What is it towards yourself? What is your attitude towards your family? What is your attitude towards your friends? And what is your attitude towards commitments? So what is your attitude towards life? What is your attitude towards yourself? What is your attitude towards your family? And what is your attitude towards commitments? So what is your attitude towards life? What do I mean by that? Well, is life easy? Is it hard? Do you go all in into a struggle or do you back off? What are your attitudes around people? So towards yourself. Do you back yourself? Do you trust yourself 100%? Do you give yourself the benefit of the doubt? Do you tell it's okay to make mistakes? Or do you beat yourself up? Do you give yourself permission to be wrong? Do you give yourself permission to stuff it up sometimes? Or is it a case of you have to do everything perfectly? And if you mess it up once, that's it, game over. Like for example, this example we had where this person wants to play with their kids. If they say, hey, I'm going to go out for a walk every day, 30 minutes, and they miss a day, are they the sort of person who goes, well, I missed this day, I won't bother to it with it tomorrow? Or are they the sort of person that goes, that's okay, I missed a day, I'll do it tomorrow. That's all good. Do you see the difference? The person who's able to let it go and say, it's okay that I didn't get to it today, I'll do it tomorrow, and actually do it tomorrow, they'll succeed, they'll get there. What is your attitude towards family? Do you have a strong relationship with your family? Do you work things out with them? Are you loving and kind, or are you argumentative? Are you defensive? Those are some attitudes you might have. You might think of others. And what is your attitude towards friends? Do you spend a lot of time with your friends? Do you connect often? How do you want to? How do you think of them? What do you value, I suppose, around your friends? And what are your attitudes towards commitments? Do they freak you out? Or do you go all in and go, yeah, I can do this? The next part. So feel free to pause the video at any point and go through the exercises. And the next part is ideas. What ideas do you have? And what are your ideas about people? What are your ideas about problems? What are your ideas about solving problems? And what are your ideas about causing problems? So ideas. What ideas do you have around the people who are around you? Your family, friends, your colleagues, associates, the world in general, people in general. What do you believe? For example, Do you have an idea around, I'm thinking about the example I gave earlier of the health goal to lose weight to play with kids. Like, if they have an idea around what people think of them or not think of them, if they have an idea around what's expected of them perhaps from other people that doesn't serve them, so for instance they think are sorry, I'm going to have to choose an easier example. But basically, I need to move a bit. Oh, here we go. So ideas about other people. What they might have ideas about what other people think of them. They might have ideas about what other people think about the way they look. They might have ideas about about fat people or big people or people the same weight as them or heavier than them. They might have ideas about people who are thinner than them. What are the ideas about problems? Do they think or have ideas around problems being hard to solve? Do they look at problems being too difficult? Do they have an idea about problems being something to avoid? And their ideas around solving problems. Do they have ideas about solving problems being an easy thing? Solving problems being an opportunity to help someone, to be of service? Do they have ideas about causing problems? Do they want to avoid causing a problem to someone? Do they have an idea that perhaps causing problems is a bad thing and to be avoided at all costs and therefore don't want to do anything? Do they have an idea that other people cause problems for them and make life difficult? Okay, so that's ideas. The next part is standards. So standards for yourself. What standards do you hold yourself to? What is non-negotiable in your world? What do you easily and effortlessly maintain without prompting? What are your routines and rituals and habits? And what aren't? Do you expect a high standard of yourself when it comes to self-care? Care of others? Do you have a high standard when it comes to commitments? Do you make excuses about what you can't do and why you don't follow through on commitments? And are you quick to excuse your own shortcomings and quick to judge others? Well, this is actually quite a big topic. The standards we hold for ourselves help to keep us in check with where we want to go. So for instance, if we have a high standard for ourselves, and bear in mind this can go two ways as well. It's like if we have a really high standard for ourselves that we can't possibly meet, we are actually setting ourselves up to fail. So that's equally as valuable to know as, am I setting a low standard for myself, where you can easily hit it, but you're not going to excel and push yourself. So what standards do you have for yourself? Are you someone who values excellence? And so you're always aiming for a standard of excellence. And how does that show up in what you do? And does it show up in the way you present yourself? Does it show up in how you approach work? In the way that you speak? Do you have anything that's non-negotiable in your world? So for me, my negotiables are I meditate every day, no matter what. I make sure I get 3 meals a day. That's one of my big things. I'm one of those people who like to skip meals. I don't like skipping meals, but it's very easy for me to skip meals. So I make sure I eat 3 meals a day, no matter what. I make sure I drink my minimum of 2 litres of water a day, non-negotiable. I hold myself to these things. Right now, I'm making sure that I'm doing daily videos on YouTube for you to learn something to help you achieve your life goals and dreams, to feel happier and healthier in yourself. So I'm showing up every day, and that's one of my non-negotiables. And these are things that I'm holding myself to, and some days it feels really hard. I'm wondering, what the heck do I say today? But I do it anyway. I don't need to be prompted to do it as such, but I get on and do it. So what have you got that you do easily and effortlessly, perhaps, that don't need prompting? So things like brushing your teeth can be one. You probably don't need to be prompted to do that, right? Brushing your hair in the morning. I said, making excuses. When do you make excuses for yourself? And when do you sort of allow yourself to not fulfill the commitments that you're setting for yourself, or that you might have set for others, or you might have set yourself to do for others? So do look at your routines, your habits, because you'll find some there that you're used to doing, like the brushing. If you're like, I don't have anything, look at things like brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, eating. And also look at things, so those are positive ones, but you might find that there are some which are not so helpful. For example, if every time you feel tired and down the dumps, you go to the fridge and eat something yummy, that's also a habit and a ritual that you might have. So look at that too, because that's something that won't help you. So you want to look at things that do help you and things that don't, because that will tell you, okay, if I'm wanting to achieve this goal, this is not going to work. So for instance, that lady or man who wants to lose weight so they can play with the kids and have more fun and be a better parent, if they're constantly going into the fridge and eating cheese every time they feel a bit down, well, that's not going to help them to shift the weight and meet the weight loss goal. No matter how much walking they do, it's probably not going to help. So that's the habit and ritual to be aware of, right? And then lastly is your expectations. What are your expectations of other people? Like, do you expect them to know what's on your mind without telling them, for instance? What are your expectations of the world? What are your expectations from the people that you know? And what are your expectations from the people that you don't know? So what are your expectations of others or your world? What are the expectations of the people that you know, and what are your expectations around or from the people that you don't know? So let's take the example of the person who is going for this health goal, walking 30 minutes a day so they can play with their kids. Now, her expectation might be that she's going to do this walk no matter what, and she's going to need help from her partner to perhaps look after the kids while she goes and does that. It might be an expectation that she's going to have someone to come and join her, so she's got an accountability buddy. It might be an expectation that someone's going to put her down for doing this. It might be that she expects people to support her and cheer her on and encourage her. So look at how your expectations of other people shape your world. So go through those questions, and I'd love to hear how you go with those. If you would like extra resources, if you feel like you'd like a conversation around this, please do get in touch. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be offering a free session for anyone who would like to go through this process with the critical alignment model for their goals, helping you to give you absolute ultimate focus. And that's actually this part, just going through the environment. So if you would like a free session to create your ultimate focus, do get in touch, say in the next 2 weeks. So today is the 7th of July. You've got until the end of next week, which will be, let me just check the calendar. It's not up there, sorry. You've got until the 17th of July to book in an appointment with me for a free session to go through this process of creating your ultimate focus, which is really what this environment part of the critical alignment model is. It gives you ultimate focus. So if you'd like that, I'd love to hear about it. So post in the email me is best. So you'll find my email in the description. So please go ahead and do that. If you're wanting to explore more stuff, you've got the previous video you can go check out in the series about success, which is the overview of critical alignment model. If you haven't already watched that, go ahead and do that because it'll give you the framework in a bit more detail. If you want to chill out and relax, go ahead and check out the chill out meditation playlist. Do remember to hit subscribe. You've got videos every day. I am dedicated and committing to your best year yet by helping you prepare with these videos. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Namaste.